Hello, CascadiaJS. Welcome to the August Pre-Funk, the last event before our big finale shebang of Cascadia. My name is Jessica West. I'm a core organizer here, and I'm so thrilled to have everybody with us here. With that, as for anything, we have a few housekeeping items to go over. So, first, want to thank you to our sponsors. Really, this event wouldn't be the same without any of them and without you, the community. And so sponsors help us make sure we can bring amazing things like this to our community and share this information and knowledge. And so I just want to give a shout out to them. We've got Salesforce Engineering, Circle CI, Auth0, LaunchDarkly, just to name a few. And I just want to say thank you for everything. With that, let's go into the next one. For today, can assume everybody knows what's what. Within Remo and Slack, all conference staff are identified online with organizer in their title. So if you're ever not looking for someone to have a question, find someone there. Usually there'll be a couple of us typing, and you can reach out and see if you need anything. Speaking of that, we have a code of conduct that we follow pretty seriously here. It's really important to make sure that our community feels safe and secure with any event we have, whether that be here on the online conference, in-person events, whenever those happen again, and through Remo, Slack, and any of the live chat that we have during this event. So with that, just want to make sure that we let you all know that any participant found violating, or if you see someone harassing anybody, another staff or any participants, please let us know. You can report that. That code of conduct is listed clearly on our website, and we'll also post it here in the chat. But just know that we want to make sure that that is taken care of right away. And so please let us know if there's anything. We hope that doesn't come down to it, but we will take care if it does. So anyway, with a few things, we have some exciting stuff happening right now. We have, if anybody hasn't joined to our July event, how this works is we have a few speakers and they'll come on and give a 15-minute talk. And then we have a Q&A afterwards. So we welcome all the audience to participate in the Q&A during the talk and after, and we will try and get as many questions as we can. And if you can't find them afterwards, I encourage you to find them in some of the social hours or online if it doesn't work out that way. So let's talk about how to ask those questions. So you can go over to our Slack community. We encourage if anybody that hasn't there, please go over there. You can go into the live group, the live channel, and ask a question, tag it, Q for question, and then upvote it with the emoji, thumbs up emoji, and help out a fellow Cascadian for maybe a question that you wanted to ask or someone put in there and you think it would be a really great thing for us to bring up. So that being said, we can also do it here within our side panel. However, Slack seems to be the easiest one. That way we can have that upvoting and have the community part of it. So here is the next part of things. This is really exciting. As some of you may have seen on Twitter, Carter recently announced it, is a new kind of a fun thing that we are bringing to for Cascadia. And I'm personally excited about this as a speaker because if you've given a talk, right, and you're saying, you're seeing the audience, you're hatching like, oh yeah, I've got focus on that person laughed, my joke totally landed, or someone seems a little confused, so maybe you add a few other words here and there to, round out your approach. Online events, virtual events, it's a lot harder to do. You're just talking with the camera and you're assuming like everything's fine, the feedback's good, I'm okay, and it's hard, right? These virtual events are hard. And so with that, at the end, you always get like that dopamine boost of clapping. Well, we brought that virtually, or what we're trying to do. And so we're really excited to bring that here. So you can use the clap emoji, and that will simulate clapping noises. So more clapping emojis, the more clapper. So please use this responsibly. This is something that was just released yesterday. So if you have any feedback or if you find a bug, please let us know. We are building it and finding it out. But what I'd love for us to do is when a speaker comes on, use the clap emoji to welcome them to the stage. And then at the end, please use clap emojis to say thank you, for coming in. So we'll use it as a welcome and a thank you. So with that, we have a lot of content to get into. I'm so excited. Did I mention I was excited? I'm excited. let's go into that. We've got a lineup of some phenomenal speakers that one, and then we'll have the Q&A and networking opportunities and karaoke. So let's go ahead and dive right in. First up, we have Timirah. And I am just so thrilled having Timirah come and join us. But wanted to do a quick thing about her. She just did her first Twitch stream last week. So snaps for Timirah. It's amazing. And she is kicking off teaching some courses with Coursera. So incredible. Great work, Timirah. Really excited to hear more of that. Maybe we can dig into that in Q&A. For now, we've kept it a little bit of a secret. So we're going to let Timirah kick us off for a first talk. And we'll keep going. So thank you again, Cascadia, and let's welcome Timirah to the stage.
Hey everyone, my name is Timirah James, and I am a tech evangelist and founder of Technical LA, which is a nonprofit for women of all ages to engage and really be active in the world of STEM, and whether that's through educational workshops, whether that's through employment opportunities, networking and mentorship opportunities, all these free resources we provide to the women in the community. So that's something I'm really, really passionate and excited about. And I'm also excited to talk to you all about a project that I built earlier this year that ignited the My Programming Heart Challenge online. And it really, really made a big splash in the developer community, a really fun splash. And so here it is, how I empowered developers across the world. So first and foremost, if you don't know, I am a mobile developer. I work primarily in the iOS space. And so I built lots of mobile applications. And late last year, I developed a deep curiosity and interest in augmented reality and began building several side projects and applications and tinkering with different platforms and frameworks such as AR Foundation, AR Kit, Unity, Vuforia, so on and so forth. But as I continued to build and explore, I came across some really concerning pain points when it comes to the development process in augmented reality. You see, developing applications that incorporate AR tend to be very niche and quite frankly a hindrance in terms of accessibility for both developers and users. Developers sometimes have to purchase expensive tooling and wearable devices in order to even build out and test the AR experience. And then users also have to purchase expensive tooling and devices in order to activate and engage in the experiences. And then there are also operating system and support limitations, along with additional layers of permissions on the user's end. And then there's the mere fact that even if you build an AR application for mobile platforms such as iOS or Android, the fact that the user has to install the application on their device can also sometimes be seen as an overhead. And then, the prayer that they actually keep the app installed for longer than a month kind of begins. So yeah, like reachability and accessibility tend to be a huge problem for developers and users when it comes to augmented reality. In January of this year, I discovered that Facebook actually has an AR development platform called SparkAR. And it basically allows developers to publish AR effects on Facebook and Instagram, which Facebook, of course, owns. And it presented a unique opportunity that tackled those barriers that we were speaking on before. It enables developers to build AR experiences and publish them for users to have access to and engage with on two major social media platforms, which is Facebook and Instagram. And all the user had to have was simply a Facebook or Instagram account, and I don't know too many people in the world who don't have at least one or the other. So just Instagram alone having over 500 million daily active users, I mean, talk about serious reach and accessibility, right? So I was super excited and just relieved about this. It pretty much knocked out my initial accessibility concerns altogether. Like I have a clean cut tool that is especially made for building out these AR experiences on the platform and supports just about all mobile devices and layouts. So as long as the user has an active account on one of these social media platforms, they'll be able to fully utilize the AR experience that I created to its fullest capacity and potential. And I don't have to worry about, operating system compatibility or any of that stuff. Now, getting into the SparkAR platform, it took some getting used to, but once I got the hang of it, I pretty much started to freestyle and build simple AR experiences. One thing about SparkAR is that it is super programmer friendly. It allows developers to create and import JavaScript packages for 3D object triggering and manipulation, in addition to its own native design patch logic that can be used in conjunction with Unity, Blender, and several other design tools. Now here's where the DevRel in me started to scream out, okay? After playing around with a few AR effects that have been published and looking around and seeing, okay, what would be fun? What would be cool to be my first actual published filter? And I did some thinking, I did some digging, and I really felt like I wanted to create an AR experience that was geared towards developers specifically. And at the time, one of the popular AR trends being created was the "Which One Are You" quiz game. And some of you may have seen it, seen some of these before going around, like which Pokemon are you, or which Disney character are you, or which character from The Office are you, or so on and so forth. So these were really addicting, really popular, and just really fun to just play and just keep playing and playing on repeat. So I said, okay, I'm super inspired. This is something that I want to do. I want to build something similar with a technical twist. How about which programming language is your heart made of, right? Something that everyone would notice and enjoy, and that developers could join in and appreciate the fun quiz trend. And so on Valentine's Day, nonetheless, I did just that. I released the Programmer's Heart AR effect on Instagram. And the effect began with the titled question and then sequenced through several programming languages, so Ruby, Dart, JavaScript, Rust, so on and so forth, before randomly landing on one. So kind of like a Russian roulette of programming languages, if you will. And once it was published, I shared the link to the AR effect with a few friends to try and test beforehand, and then basically shared their demo videos of them playing and using it on Twitter. And before I knew it, within minutes, this game and this AR experience began to spread like wildfire. And I didn't even create the hashtag #MyProgrammingHeartChallenge. I believe just some other awesome developer who was playing the game actually did, and then it just caught on. And next thing you know, everyone was doing the challenge. Everyone was playing along, and it was super, super fun. And people would keep playing and playing until they landed on their favorite programming language. We even had some folks from the ASL community participate. I thought that was amazing. And of course, he landed on JavaScript. JavaScript was of course, the most popular. And then this one was awesome too, landing on Golang, the Gopher. And I believe she lands on Dart. Yes. It was so much fun, and people would keep playing and playing and playing until they landed on their favorite language. So this was a trend that was just it was just fun. It was impactful. It was engaging. It was something to share with your friends and the community. And it was just really awesome altogether. Here are some other ones that are just really cool and amazing. And yeah, like I said, they were dying for JavaScript. The JavaScript community is really, really big, really huge, right? They're like, oh, Python, I want JavaScript. And people's reactions were so hilarious. Like, we're all diehard for our favorite, our communities and our, basically our silos of like, oh, I love .NET, or I love Swift, I love this, I love that. And, we seldom kind of bleed over into other communities and other languages, if we're more focused in those kind of circles. And it really just spread in a way that connected everyone. And this one here was a little girl, and her mom was a developer, and she got a chance to play around with the AR effect, and it landed on, I believe, Golang. And what was so lovely about this, it really touched my heart, was I could hear her ask, "What is that? Mom, what is Golang?" And her mom then messaged me and said, this is something that like my daughter knew nothing about. And now she's like super inspired, just like, that sounds interesting. Can I build things with that? And she has zero coding experience. So it just spoke to like the impact that something so simple and fun had on people beyond just the developer community. Here are some more of my faves. Still, my number one pick has to be this baby Python dev. And he looked so happy it landing on Python and smiling towards the end. I thought that was so adorable, so cute. And again, like spreading through the generations, spreading just far and wide, everywhere from India to Singapore to Nigeria to Jamaica to Canada to all throughout the US. I mean, it really spread, on a global scale, and it really, it was something that really touched my heart, because it's like, it connected us all. Something really fun that we can appreciate what we do, and also appreciate our peers as well. Within a month's time, this AR effect got 250,000 impressions. That was a huge thing. This is my first ever AR experience being built through the SparkAR platform, being published onto Instagram. There were developers who didn't even have Instagram accounts, who created Instagram accounts just to, participate in the challenge and in the game online. And 250,000 impressions was a huge deal, and it was so just unexpected. I mean, in just a month's time, that was crazy. But it spoke a lot to impact, right? The community loved it, but why? The amount of representation that this simple AR experience gave developers went way beyond joining in on some popular social AR game trend. It basically brought a sense of community and unity, and creating conversations amongst thousands of developers from all over the world, and connecting all over what their favorite languages and their least favorite languages are. And were even compelled to do research on languages they hadn't even heard of before, or even tried. And another thing about SparkAR is that it bleeds, because of social media, it bleeds beyond just whoever your target might be. So their followers can also see if they're using your filter, and they can also adopt that filter. So to have it continue to spread beyond just the developer community, people of all ages from all walks of life were able to discover this AR experience from other people's, basically their Instagram posts, from Twitter, from their IG stories, and they were able to join in on the fun. And, users who were not in tech got curious enough to even ask about how to get started with programming. So several layers here: education and awareness, unity and community, engagement, diversity and connection, and then of course, joy and just pure fun. One thing about me, and especially being in developer relations, is I create with purpose. Very adamant on creating things for a purpose. I love to play. I love to just build things and tinker, of course. But when I'm pushing something, I want to make sure that it serves a purpose, like it helps another developer or just makes someone feel something. Or just, again, even if it's teaching someone something, I'm very sure to create with purpose. So I felt it was important for me to create something like this because it meant more to me than just creating some trendy quiz game. It meant representation. I find that there's a lack of representation of programmers outside of the developer community itself. So I'm always thinking of new and innovative ways to fill the gap and create any form of developer inclusion in mediums where maybe representation of the developer community may be scarce. And I felt this was the perfect medium for me to do just that and more, and definitely having fun doing it. So, and as of today, my AR effect has been used almost 400,000 times. So yeah, it made a huge impact in a huge way, and I couldn't be more proud. And yes, it is still up and live and well, and you're able to utilize it. I went ahead and put the QR code, so if you wanted to put your phone up to the screen, and you'll be able to access it. Also, if it doesn't work for you, you need the link. You can always message me on Twitter or something, and I can just send you the direct link to play around and use the AR effect. So yeah. And that is all I have for you today. I thank you so much for having me. You can always follow me on Twitter at TimiraJ. I also stream on Twitch now. So twitch.tv/TimiraJ. You can also always, of course, get me on Instagram at TimiraJ. And you can see, you can have access to my future AR effects as well on Instagram there. And if you're curious or you're just interested to be involved in Technigal in any way, we are Technigal_LA on both Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and enjoy the rest of the event.